All right, so before we go to MIDI recording, let's learn a couple of little conventions that'll make it easier. That would be picking instruments, swapping out sounds. I have 4 different types of tracks within Live. I have audio tracks, as evidenced by these guys. I have effects tracks, as evidenced by these guys, just like that. And I have the Granddaddy, the master. The 4th one is a MIDI track. If I right-click here, I can say Insert MIDI track. When I open this up and arm it, I can send my keyboard, play my keyboard, and I just have an empty bucket. I'm going to fill this MIDI bucket with 2 things, either Ableton's instruments or third-party instruments. Okay, so we'll start with Live's instruments. These are the families and types of instruments. Now, I can load a instrument type by going down to drum rack and double-clicking that. And immediately in the MIDI track that's there, I have an empty drum rack. Then I would have to go ahead and fill this with patches. I could do this in a couple of ways. I could scroll through there and find patches, or I could use this hot swap mode. If I'm out here somewhere and this is all closed up, I'm over here, I hot swap and it's going to take me where it is. Okay, very cool. And the fact is that this has no sound yet. So I can open up a kit, I can drag it on, and now I have sounds loaded. Okay, and I can go back to hot swap again and double click. Okay, that is hot swapping. It's just that simple. Now, what about third-party MIDI instruments? I'm going to get out of the hot swap mode, go to a third-party plugin, and pick something. How about Tal? Tal's free. Tal is great. Tal bassline. And what I want to do here is just hit return. Now, if I just hit return, it's going to blow down this track. Let's watch. And there it did it, and it opened up the plugin. If I wanted to keep this kit here and add Tal, I would have to drag it into a new area, and now I have Tal loaded. Okay, love this plugin. Go to do the Tal track, just like this. Okay, so with third-party plugins, this wrench will give me the interface. If I don't like that, I can shift hold the wrench and I get this very long list of parameters. Okay, so that's one thing. So again, wrench gives me the GUI. Shift hold the wrench gives me the factory presets and all of that. There's a third way to do the settings, and that's here. Okay, plugin parameters. And if I wanted to configure those, then I get a mapping mode, and I can wiggle knobs and add them one at a time. Okay, now in terms of hot swap, the Tal bassline does in fact have a factory presets folder. So they do hot swap. Okay, now some third-party plugs, when you do hot swap, it just leads you to an empty folder. And the reason is that there is no preset folder to hot swap into. In the next session, we're going to deal with pretty important but not that common anymore workflow, and that's hooking Live up to an external instrument. It's actually very easy, so easy in fact that my guess is you might be breaking out some of your old school devices and trying to use them within Live.